Not your average tabletop. Woohoo!
Welcome to Nacho Over Tabletop. I'm Zach,
And I'm Pepper.
and we're back with another Take My Money, where we're going to look at some current crowdfunding projects in the board game sphere. I think we're looking at five of them, and four of which are Kickstarter. One is on GameFound, and we're just going to give our thoughts of kind of what we think of the project itself, whether or not we'd buy them. And yeah, we'll have to go through them. Let us know in the comments below what a games you're currently backing right now. I think there's a decent amount of projects out there that I think seem like gettable, but at the same time,
Yeah.
like there's some that feel, I don't know if it's familiar, maybe
Oh,
I would
yeah.
say
Yep.
a lot of games that
Yeah, I
feel like
agree.
they could be approachable and familiar.
Yeah.
But this one does I don't know if familiar is the right word, but we have a game
Yes.
that kind of I think fills this for us.
Yeah, that
It's
was
called
my
Go
thought.
Ahead Punk,
Yep. Yep.
uh, an all one versus all hidden movement board game inspired by classic '70s cop cinema, which isn't really something I've as going through this isn't really something I think that inspires me personally. Just
Yeah.
some of the artwork, I don't think it was doing it for me.
Yeah. I
Um,
think if it's going for that, 70s cop
mhm,
cinema, I think it feels like that. That comes across
yes,
in the artwork. And some parts of it I do like. I'm not a huge fan of the board, but if I did want that aesthetic, that feel, I think this would deliver for me.
yeah, I agree. I think if that was something I liked, it seems like that's the actual feel that the game has. But yeah, it's as I was going through, I'm like, yeah, I don't know if this would be doing it for me if I was looking for one. But we actually have uh, we kind of have two. We have Sniper
Yeah.
Elite, and then we have Jaws, and I like both of those. And it's just one of those types of games that we just don't table that often to begin with.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I think between those two, I already get um, good enough experiences. So I'm
Yeah.
not really looking for another one of these.
Yeah, that's
Um,
true. Mind
so,
management as well.
oh yeah, that's true. Mind management.
So yeah, it doesn't seem like one that we go to, like you said, that often to where we need over three types of games in that genre. Although, I mean, I've heard a lot of good ones. Like I think was it Spectre Ops? I think is one, and I've heard a lot of great things about that. But even with all that great reception, probably not going to add it to the collection just because we have those already. So we're probably
Mhm.
not going to be getting this one, but it has funded successfully 18,000 bucks of a 12,000 goal and 220 backers.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Yeah, so
so
not too many backers, and actually, by the time we put this video out, it's not going to be many hours to go. So if you're
60
enticed
hours.
by it, go get it right away because you're not going to have much time. Uh, but yeah, so I think overall this one looked decent. I wouldn't. I mean, even if I liked the artwork, I think the miniatures weren't like overly inspiring to me. I think they were fine,
Yeah,
but
yeah,
not like some of the best miniatures I've seen. Maybe average or slightly below average. It just seems like so many games these days, especially on Kickstarter and GameFound and stuff. I think they just set the bar so high that
yeah.
it's tough because maybe 5 years ago, uh, sort of been a lot of cool stuff here, but now it's got so much to compete with,
Yeah,
which
yeah.
which kind of sucks. But yeah, I would say if this looks interesting to you and you're looking for one versus many, I didn't look too closely at the gameplay, but
Yeah,
I would
it seemed
think
like
it would be.
pretty regular things from those games.
Mhm.
So if you do really enjoy those types of games and like that theme, kind of based seemingly on those Clint Eastwood films, then I think this would be a good one to look into. Like I said, we don't know it too well, but definitely look more into the gameplay, see if it's something you're up for. Although for the deluxe version, including two characters here, two different characters. not a big fan of that. I don't know how unique the characters are, but it
Right.
looks like each has a little special ability. For a deluxe version, I don't think that that should include any extra gameplay content. It should just include like
Mm,
miniatures or actually upgraded physical components versus gameplay. But I mean,
I agree.
that's just kind of what happens nowadays. But that was just noticeable here since I think there's like three or four only in the base game, and this adds quite a bit more than compared to that.
Hmm.
Um, so just a little
Yeah.
nitpick from me.
Hmm. Yeah, I would agree. And it's their first created, so I
Yep,
mean, a little bit of leeway with that. But yeah, um,
public
I,
reaction.
I yeah, that was interesting. I thought, but I get it. It seems like maybe it's something these people, designer and the team that put this together, probably, I'm assuming, kind of like that genre and wanted to, create a game in that world. And
Yeah.
now, are trying to get that out to the general public. So
Yeah, that's
it's
going to
definitely fair.
be about 58 bucks for that regular version, or about 75 for the deluxe version. It's another thing as well, which 58 isn't too bad for a game, but getting deluxe, which I probably would because of that extra actual gameplay in there. So that's going to be 75 bucks is a little much, I think.
Hmm.
January 2024, it's hopefully doable. Again, it's their first created, so can't really be sure.
Hmm. Yeah,
Very
and
looking
I
for it.
mean it's maybe a good thing that they're a little more expensive, just in case things don't end up going exactly as planned when putting the stuff together, especially since it's a first creation. So that part's good, but yeah, I would say seemed a little steep, especially once you add in the shipping. I mean even the base game's getting to be almost what, 70, $80. I don't
Yeah,
know that, to me there was enough content there. I guess I don't remember
yeah,
what kind of some of our other ones cost, but like
yeah.
I would assume you could get Jaws and Mind Management for that price,
Maybe,
both
maybe.
together or
I'm
close.
not sure what either cost,
Hmm.
but yeah. And if you want your face, you want artwork of yourself
It's
to
true.
be in there, they have. Maybe it won't be when this is released, but if you are interested, they have two left of that. A 300, well, actually $512 um, pledge here to get your face or your artwork at least on one of the cards. So if that's your thing, if that's what you like in these games, then go check that out.
Hmm.
Um, but yeah, so I like that games like this do exist. I like to see unique themes, especially kind
Hmm.
of throwback themes as well.
Yeah, it does feel like something that it's kind of what I feel Kickstarter is supposed to
Um,
be for.
yeah.
So I like that. But then we've got uh, one of my favorite Verb and Write designers is coming back with another Verb and Write game, French
Hmm.
Quarter, Let the Good Times Roll and Write game. Welcome to the heart of New Orleans. Explore the French Quarter in this new loaded roll and write game from Motor City. Um, or Motor City GameWorks, I guess. But I have not played Motor City. It is one that has kind of gotten my attention a little bit a couple times because we do have three sisters. I like that one quite a bit. One of the designers, at least, I don't think he's the only one, but is Matt Riddle, and he worked
That's the same
also
name as a
on,
wrestler, and you're a fan of wrestling, so obviously you're interested.
obviously it's the same person, and I'm interested. But he also helped with Fleet the Dice game. I guess I'm not sure off the top of my head if it's the same people that did this and did Motor City and did Three Sisters. I don't know if those are all the same. Well, there maybe. Uh,
Yeah, not sure.
do they do all those? I'm not sure, but I do really like Fleet the Dice game and Three
Yeah.
Sisters quite a bit for verb and write game, roll and write games. They're one of those that has bonuses. So if you like kind of chaining effects in your verb and write games, then I'm assuming this one's going to have that as well. Just because I know some of those other ones that he's done have had that. I would say
Yeah.
though, if you're so this would be kind of, I think, a little on the heavier side or right around like a Gancho and Cover, maybe just a little above that if you've played that game.
Yeah.
But I would say it's probably still, in my opinion, below. If it's, I'm assuming this is based on my assumptions based on the other two games I've played that are similar. Um,
Yeah.
Hadrian's Wall, I think, is still heavier than all of them. So
Yeah. I would think so. I would say so. But yeah, I like this. I like the idea of kind of exploring the town, going to all these different things that you can explore in the town, in the quarter, and especially filling up these tracks as you go, which that just seems very satisfying anytime you're filling up tracks and gaining bonuses. So this one did have me intrigued, especially since it is established designers for these types of games, which I've enjoyed the ones or the one that I have played in Three Sisters. So I'm pretty interested in this. The pledge is just one edition, I believe, unless you're getting multiple copies.
mhm.
And that's $29, which is not too bad, although I don't know if there's that much in there. It's just kind of score sheets, and then I believe some tokens and some dice, as well as cards, which I guess, yeah, $30 is pretty good price there. Uh,
Yeah,
with
I can't remember.
expansion
Was
and
there
extra.
shipping on this one? Um,
Shipping would be
yeah, I would say 29 isn't too bad, but
$9. Not too bad.
yeah, so
Pretty
then it
good.
gets up to 40, which if it's like the other ones, I don't know if it's quite $40 worth.
Yeah,
But
yeah,
um, I don't think that's an awful price. But I do think if um, assuming it comes to retail, I think you probably get it for a little bit cheaper later on, would be my guess. But
yeah.
yeah,
I would think so. There should be some deal at some point somewhere. Miniature
yeah,
market or
because I think I think Motor City and Three Sisters for sure are pretty easy to get. So I would assume this one would be no different. But
yeah,
you never know. Maybe they'll change kind of how they're doing things. So you
yeah,
never can be 100% sure. So if it's one that you really want and you maybe want to support them more directly, this would be a great way to do that.
yeah.
But yeah,
Looks like a lot of people are
I'm assuming it's going to be
1,500
a pretty solid
backers
game if
for
I had to guess.
2,000. Yeah, I would think so. It's probably one of the safest picks that we have today. Me saying not knowing actually what's else is remaining here, I would say this is one of the safest picks to be a decent game.
There we go.
Another roll and write game. Roll on the Range, a print and
Oh,
play and draw game. Uh, roll and draw game. So
yes.
this is another one. So this is just print and play. So $5, you get the game and you get it pretty quickly too. July 2023. So pretty much once the campaign ends, you will be getting this game,
Mhm.
which is another thing to consider. Maybe we should consider getting more of these print and play projects. Then we don't have to wait 2, 3 agonizing years. Um,
That is true.
but 580. How many backers do print and plays usually get? I don't know. This seems like
I don't
decent,
know. Yeah,
decent.
that seems pretty decent. But
Yeah,
yeah, I I wish I knew how to print this stuff better because I just I would be fine doing print and play, but I know our current printer sucks, and I just I would want it to look at least halfway decent if I was printing the things out. I wouldn't. I don't know what cardstock is usually used and stuff. Um, but yeah, if I had a better idea of that, I'm sure I could look it up if I wanted to. I'm guessing on
yeah,
Board Game Geek or something. I'm sure someone's got some tips and tricks for doing that and what kind of printer. Let us know in the comments below if you ever do these print and plays. If you ever get
yeah,
some from, I think Board Game Geek also. I think people design ones on there as well all the time. So let us know in the comments below if you ever do that and kind of what method you use to print these out.
yeah,
But yeah,
yeah, for sure.
I think it looks like one that's maybe I for $5. I don't think it's awful, but I don't know that it'd be one you go back to over and over and over again.
I liked a few
But
things here. I
maybe.
like kind of allocating the dice to these
Mhm.
different cards and spending them, and the numbers determine kind of where in your area you place them, you get the animal that's on there, and you draw it on there, an exact replica of its
Yes, my,
illustration
my
there.
drawing would look just like that.
Yes, it wouldn't just be a square. But I do like that they did a square, circle, triangle, just like a little cloud, just for us art challenged people that
Yes.
aren't so great at it, but get some benefits that you can unlock as well from coins. And this is actually from 25th century games, which I've heard of some. I know of them at least. I can't name any games off the top of my head, but also
I think I just
designer.
did one
Ooh,
right behind me.
oh my goodness! I didn't know you actually got that. Breaking news. Check out
Breaking news.
check out the unboxing that comes out or came out or whatever on our channel eventually.
At some point it will.
And we actually have a kind of review of that game. First
We
impression.
already do have that out there. So
So if you want raw, go check that out. But this ain't raw. This is range. Roll on the range. I liked it. It was pretty cute. Pretty
yeah,
basic roll and write type game.
I would agree.
Cute theme. It kind of reminded me of with the fences that you can draw, just because they're fences. It makes me think of Welcome to and kind of creating different sets to achieve goals. So pretty solid. I'm guessing a pretty safe pick as well. If you like these types of games, I think this looks like another good one. Obviously, nice and cheap as well. And you can get for $3 three more roll and write games. I'm not as sure if these ones are going to be good if they're $1 a piece, pretty much.
Oh my
Three
goodness.
spooky games, which
1 to 100 players
there you go. You're gonna
at a
have to print
spectacular
out
price.
Tricky Treats, Haunt the Block, and Boogaloo. I do like those names.
I'm guessing
Shipping?
they'd all
What shipping? No shipping.
be decent. I mean,
But yeah, so
yeah.
this
I don't know
one,
that they'll probably be my favorite roll and writes in the world, but I would guess all those would probably be worth playing once or twice or whatever,
I think
at
Dan
least.
Devine had work in Sprawlopolis, which is a game that I like quite a bit, a solo game. So that had me a little more interested. I just initially was like, just another roll and write, but and I was like, okay, maybe there's something more. But
Hmm,
so yeah, check it out if you want
I did not
another
know that.
roll and write. If you want another roll and write type feel game, here's another one. Which I guess I don't know if it actually is that, but it's another smaller game.
That's true.
Micro Architects, and this one, just from the look of it, I was like, okay, this one looks really nice, really nice. A bunch of
That's
wooden
what I was thinking.
buildings, dual layered boards. When I think about it, like a micro city, this is what I want it to look like.
Hmm.
Yeah, so
I would
800
agree.
almost, 34,000 euros. So it's doing well, definitely funded. Um, oh boy, screen printing as well. As I was going
Yeah,
through it,
when
I
I
didn't
saw this
see
one,
much.
I was immediately intrigued, even though I don't know that it would necessarily be. Um, I know I tend to my some of my favorite games tend to be like the medium to heavier weight Euro games. This
Yeah.
one seems like it might have some Euro-y in it, but I'm guessing it's going to be, at least from looking at it a little bit, seems more like the medium to lightweight, maybe.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah, I
which
would think
isn't
so.
which isn't bad. Isn't a bad thing.
But it's a
Because some of
really
those
good
games
looking
get
one.
some of those games do get played probably actually more than the other ones,
Yeah,
just because they're maybe a little more approachable. This one looks really approachable, and I'm actually hoping this one is really, really good because
yeah,
I
I
really like the
I
look
hope
of it.
so too, because this one looks really nice. I want this game. Just those buildings, putting them on the dual layered boards, just looks so cool. I think. There's
Hmm.
more unlockable things, and the price, which I believe there's two. It's just pretty much whether you want the neoprene mat or not, which we probably wouldn't. In which case,
Right.
30 euros versus 50 euros, which is not
Doesn't
too
seem
bad
awful. Hmm.
because it does have a lot of components. Like you just look at it, you have 120 wooden buildings, and now upgraded into screen printed wooden
Hmm.
buildings. And dual layered boards, more dual layered boards, meeples, screen printed meeples, tokens, wood tokens, more printed wood tokens, a bunch of cards, and a bag. So that's a lot. in the box. I'm interested how big that box is, or else maybe these components are a little smaller than I'm imagining. Maybe they're smaller cards than I'm picturing. But I don't know. Looks really nice, and a little bit of gameplay that I saw seemed pretty simple. Like you said, you kind of want to fill in these different areas, possibly creating patterns to fulfill goals and gain bonus points throughout. You gain boats when you fill these, and then you get more boats, and then you get more cards for more scoring. And it seemed pretty straightforward, but that's probably what I want from these types of games.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think my only hesitation is I just wonder if it'll be enough or not. If it'll just be too little or kind of seem samey after a couple of games and not. Um, I don't know. I don't need like for some of the simpler games that I enjoy and get back to the table over and over. I guess for some reason that's one that keeps coming to my mind. I'm just gonna say it, King Domino for some reason. Um,
Yeah.
I really like that one, even though that one I wouldn't consider that heavy at all. It's pretty light. You're drafting and stuff. Um, if I could get that kind of feel from this one, I
Yeah.
for some reason I'm thinking, oh, this could have that kind of feel, but I don't know that that's actually the case. But if I could get that from it, then I would think this one would be kind of an automatic get for me.
Yeah.
But
Yeah,
that's
for
just
sure.
putting
This,
obviously gameplay
yeah,
on it that it doesn't actually
this
have.
is
But
the King
yeah,
Domino killer. Um,
who's
but
the
yeah,
designer
I
on this
do.
one? Is it Bruno?
What was that?
I said who's the designer on this one? Is it Bruno Catala?
Then it would be an instant back. Um, yeah, I hope to play this one at some point. Hopefully, unless you're going to
Ooh,
surprise me,
Tabletopia.
you seem. Oh my goodness, that's right. Wherever that was. Oh, shipping. What is shipping? Poland, Zone Zero. €5. And where are we? United States, €15. That's a bit much.
Yeah, then we're getting to about $50 for the game
Yeah.
overall. But I
Yeah,
don't
so
know how many backers does this one have.
this has
Always a tough part because then you
196.
don't know if it'll have a retail release or not. I mean that's not bad. I feel like for board games, a thousand to 3,000 is a lot more than it seems like it is. I think that's
Yeah.
doing pretty good. This one's almost to 1,000. I think it could potentially get there. Because
Yeah.
in
Yeah.
about 205 days, usually towards the end, you'll have some people that maybe were watching or whatever decide, you know what, I'm going to get in on that.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, maybe if the price tag was just a little bit more approachable. Because I guess I'm imagining this is a smaller game. Maybe I'm totally wrong. I'm imagining the box is
Yeah,
not
it's
that
pretty
big,
small. Pretty small
but
game. Yep.
that's where I'm thinking. Even with all that good stuff and screen printed stuff, and maybe that is a fair price. I would just think I would be more likely to back it if it was $40. I think that
Yeah.
just feels
Yeah.
a little more right
Yeah. I
for
would say so too.
on thing or game found versus retail. I guess it'd be closer to 30 maybe, but I think if you're gonna back it now, 40 feels about right. Maybe.
Yeah. Yeah, I would say so. But yeah, hopefully we can get this played at some point, get a good deal somewhere, or maybe we will have to give in and lay down the money because that it does look really good. I hope
I
it's
thought you
really
were gonna say you have to give in and go to Tabletopia.
good.
Go back, Pepper.
Oh no,
Figure
I
out
need to
how to
make.
get logged
I
in
need
there.
to. I need to get logged. I need to create a new account. I will not make a duplicate account. I promise. Never ever. But on to oh no, I forgot to look up how to pronounce this. I was telling myself I'm going to look up how to say this, but now
I
I
do not
forget.
know how to say it either. Is it
Sanssouci.
Sanssouci? Two to
Sanssouci.
four player board game by Michael Kiesling. Um,
He's
yeah,
the
and
man.
he's done some solid stuff.
Azul. Ever heard
Azul.
of it?
I think Azul is probably his most well known. I would
Yeah, I
say
would think so. He's also done
real
the
popular.
Mask trilogy, so like Tikal and Cusco and Mexico, which played one of those. And Cusco, I liked it quite a bit, and I'm very interested in both the others. Um, just got a like semi-abstract feel to his games, which I enjoy.
Mhm.
Just a
Yeah.
little more than some of those pure abstracts like chess or some of those what are those series GIF games that
Oh, yeah.
Z Garcia likes. There's a little
Yeah.
more in the Keesling games, but they still have that kind of abstract feel.
I would agree. And yeah, I think with well, right next to, I mean, we got Azul right there. So just going back to the back, obviously, looking at these things, and you can see it's got a seal of approval from the Dice Tower. It is actually, um, I didn't read through this, but it looks like it was originally released in like 2013,
Yeah. Yep.
and it was actually on the Spiel des Jahres recommended list in 2014. So uh, that actually has me a little bit more excited about this game.
Yeah, it establishes it quite a bit because you just don't get that with a lot of these games, and if you can, I think that can really help kind of people on the edge
Mhm.
actually be willing to give to that project.
Mhm.
And I guess yeah, how's it doing? 45. Okay, doing pretty well. 45,000 of a 5,000 goal, over 1,000 backers. Still 4 days to go at the time of the filming of this, so a little less than that.
Mhm.
Uh, but yeah, so this is kind of an abstract game as well. I get different tiles that you'll be filling in your board with, which let's see if we can get a bigger picture of these gameplay. No, we can't. It's been in the video. But yeah, so this center area here has room for a bunch of tiles. I think 8 tiles, and you have a section for purple and yellow, blue, red, black, and you have cards that can either correspond to a color or multiple colors, and then or a type of tile, so a fountain or something. And you can play that card, and you get to choose either if you play like a fountain, you get to choose a fountain tile from the market, or if you play a color, you get to pick a tile from that color section, and then you have to put it into the corresponding spot on your board for the type of tile and the color row. Which right away that felt pretty restrictive. That
Mhm.
so you get a fountain from the red area, then it has to go into your red fountain single spot on your board. I didn't know how much I liked that. But I'm guessing there's enough ways to maneuver to where it doesn't feel like just like there's only one option to really do in the game. Um, I like that as you place the tiles, you can also move your lords or whatever they are down the
Mhm.
board, and you can do that each turn, and you just move them downward, and you score points equal to how far down they are, and you can do that multiple times. So you can just kind of decide whether you want to move them all the way to the bottom and get the max amount of points this time, or maybe wait, move them just a couple down, get those points, and then move them even further down later, get more points.
Mhm.
That seemed pretty cool to try to manage that.
That's what I was thinking. That part sounded the most interesting. Along with yeah, just managing the tile placement. This one, I don't know. This one has me excited as well. I I feel like there were just a few in here that I'd really like to try out for sure. Um,
Yeah,
and this is definitely one of those that I would like to try and possibly buy at some point, maybe.
possibly.
Um, I maybe even back. I don't know. But no, I was pretty excited for this one because I think yeah, with the pedigree of the designer and yeah, some of approval from the Dice Tower and even being recommended by the Spiel. I think all those things kind of combined, and then kind of a few things in the gameplay actually sounding interesting as well. Just yeah, has me thinking that this one could be one that I'd potentially enjoy.
Yeah. Thoughts on the kind of, I assume that's the older cover versus the newer cover. I would say I
I do
prefer
like
the
the
newer cover quite a
I
bit.
do like the newer
Yeah.
cover by quite a bit as well. I would, yeah, I like the change of the cover for sure.
Yes.
Oh boy, Rado must have.
Oh boy. Must have, really.
Estimated delivery August 2023.
That's pretty close, but I mean, if it is, although it seems like it's redone, I don't know if everything's redone in the game, like even the components. Those might be the same. Maybe it's just the boxes different. But that's pretty quick. But I mean, who are we to doubt? These are some established people, so it should be doable then, I would think, but that is very
I would
close.
think so. But
Uh,
that actually makes I guess I didn't look that closely, and I guess I didn't see what Rado said there as to when to get or must get or whatever. I don't know if he was talking about Gen Con because August is the same time as Gen Con. So that makes me wonder if it's going to be available at Gen Con. Oh,
well,
that's the
you'll
spiel.
have to look.
Probably be it would probably be Essen, I guess. But yeah, it would be pretty cool if it was at Gen Con. This is the first year that I'm going to be going. If I saw it there, I would definitely try it out. Um,
Yeah,
if I had the opportunity. But
yeah, I'd like to try this one for sure. I've liked all the games that he's put out, and I'm sure this is another great one. But yeah,
mhm,
I. But then again, it's like we do have a few of his already. We have a couple of the Azules, so I'm like, I don't know if we
yeah,
do need another one.
that's true.
So hopefully you do get to try it out and try before you buy it.
Right. You can check out our series, Try Before You Buy, where we play stuff on Board Game Arena and see if it's worth trying on there before you buy. Uh, but yeah, that is true. And this one seems like one that would maybe be available after the fact and
Oh, yep.
possibly be cheaper at retail. It says MSRP of 50, but I would guess on if it comes available on Miniature Market or Game Nerds or something, I'm guessing it would probably be cheaper than that.
Yeah, I
So then
would
you're
think so.
probably it's at worst it would be about the same as you're paying here. Looks like.
Yeah, I would think so. I would think so. And then you can get tempted to get even more games to get free shipping, getting it over $100.
That's true. That is true. But yeah,
That's how we roll. Like
that
I'll
is
just
how
get
we
it off
roll.
Miniature Market, and it's like, well, I better get three more games to get free
It's
shipping.
true. Well, Game Nerds I think has free shipping at $75. So I guess if I go there, it's a little less hard on the pocketbook.
The
Uh,
tips, board game tips.
there you go. But yeah, so I think this is a pretty good set of games here.
Yeah,
Uh, I I think Micro Architects is probably the one I'm most excited for, but
that's the one I'm most excited about for sure.
I would I'd probably play any of these, except maybe I think I'd have to be in the mood for the go ahead punk.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
don't know
yeah, I
that would,
agree.
but the rest of them I would play
Yeah,
if I
yeah,
was
and
given the
I
opportunity.
think all of you could get play all of these in a single game night. I think these seem like pretty
They do.
approachable, straightforward games. But yeah,
That is
Micro
true.
Architects is for sure my favorite of the five. But Sanssouci does is very interesting too.
That sounds good. Let us know in the comments below which one of these you're most excited for, or maybe none of them at all. Or if maybe if you've tried the Sanssouci, I had not heard of it before this, so I'm sure there's some people out there that obviously have the game, the original. Let us know in the comments below if you are one of those people and what you think of it. But
Yes.
otherwise, we hope to see you on the next one. And as always, don't forget to keep on nibbling on our content.